like also to thank everyone who has been before me speaking, and also pay homage to the presenter for giving me a glowing introduction, and everyone else who's here. Can you please turn to someone sitting next to you and give them a smile offering? Just smile. Just smile. Let's smile. It's good to smile. Because many people don't realize that when you smile, they actually say, when you smile, you use 14 muscles in your face. That's what they say. When you smile, you use 14 muscles. But when you are not happy and grumpy, you use 72 muscles. Just imagine how much hard work you are doing. Did you manage to? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, okay. Right. So while she's sorting out the slides, we can continue, I do believe. Right. I've seen that from the time I've been here, most of the presenters were actually talking about training and development. Most of them. And then I was thinking, oh, I'm also going to talk about training and development. And I realized that probably it is very important. That's why we are having double sessions and triple sessions of the same thing. And the previous speaker right now was here, Dr. Udenge. Yes, he was talking about insurance. And while he was presenting, here Mr. Goldfrey Mshandu said to me, oh, we even switched our insurance to him. We were paying over 4,000. Now he managed to get us something at half the price. Let's clap hands for him. Isn't that good? And that's the intention, I think, of having such an event. And if we don't learn, we then stop ourselves from progressing. Because most of us don't realize that we are all beings that feel. Did we know that we are feeling beings? That's why we use our 5 senses, isn't it? And did we know that our feelings define the way we think? Yes? Yes, our feelings define the way we think. And our feelings come from the 5 senses. The way we taste, the way we feel, the way we see, the way we hear, the way we, what's the other one? Smell. Is that right? And our senses then define the way we think. So those who like to use and utilize their sense of taste, they like visiting pubs a lot. Because their feelings will drive them to their thinking. Did you see that? Your feelings drive the way you think. Some of you think we are above our feelings. No, you are not. The way you feel is expressed by the way you actually what? Think. And the way you think actually defines the way you choose. Did you know that your choices are defined by the way you think? And the thinking is from the feeling. The feeling to the thinking to the choices. And then the choices define your actions because of what? The feelings, of the thinking, of the what? Of the choices. And then the actions. Are we together? And then we say actions speak louder than words, but it's all coming from the feeling, which then affect the thinking, which then affect the choices, which affect the actions, that then define your habits. Because your repeated actions are your habits. And your habits are coming back from your feelings. Are we together? And then, your actions, remember, define your habits. And your habits then define your character. Then your character is a culmination of your behavior, repeated behavior. And they say that it takes about only 21 repeats to form a habit. And it takes over 100 to break it. That's why it's harder. It's easier to eat than to stop it. It's easier to do things like that. Are we together? And then your character. Are we together? That's why now some people are no longer defined by their name. He's a drunkard. That's the character. That is now manifesting. He's a this, he's a that. It's no longer the name, person's name. Then your character will then take you to your destiny. Where you are going. And it's all starting from the what? The feelings. That's why it is important that you train yourself not to just be controlled by your feelings. That's why I tell people, some people say, oh, I fell out of love. Fell out of love. You fell out of love. No. Love is not a feeling. Actually, love is a choice. Yeah, it's not a feeling. Things come and go. And what I'm talking about here is we are people with a lot of feelings which were not trained. We'll end up hurting others because of the characters that end up developing. And in health and social care, it's one of the most intimate things that we can ever do. Did you know that the people we visit don't want us in their houses? Will they invite you when you're walking in the street? You think now they like you? No, they don't. But it's because of necessity. So when it's necessity now, that's why now training in health and social care, if we actually embrace this in our businesses, many people think that when they pay for training, they are losing. And I tell you, it's because of not understanding what human beings are. All creatures in the world, guess what? They have instinct. They are not told how to build their habitation. They're not taught. They actually know. A sparrow knows how to make a house. Any animal has instinct. The only animal with no instinct is you and me. That's why if you find a sparrow in China, it will make its own nest the same way you find a sparrow in Africa. It will have the same blueprint with the sparrow in America. It will not be an American sparrow. It will just be a sparrow that lives in America. Are we together? Because what you must understand is this. Human beings need to be shaped. Human beings need to be shaped. Human beings need to be taught. But if you are a person who thinks that you cannot be taught, you're already lost. That's why now you will notice something interesting. We are the most fragile creatures on earth. Think of a lion. Its skin is so thick. A rhinoceros, thick skin. An elephant, thick skin. Even fish, they have skin that is even thicker than ours. But look at our skin. The softest. Even a mosquito can do damage to your skin and my skin. In other words, it shows you how vulnerable we are. And we come with no instinct. So what do we need? Now we need training. We need training in whatever we do. And it's better to invest in training than anything else. That much I can tell you. Even if you find some people who are talking about, this lady is well cultured. What are they talking about? Training. They're talking about training. They've been trained. But then you bring someone from over there to over here. And then you say, go work. And one of the things that we train people when we are training people, don't worry, the slides will be given to you, all the ones that I have. And you bring people here, and they are not trained. What happens is they abuse people. And they abuse people without knowing. And they think they're doing a very good job. Do you know that there are a lot of people who make tea that clients don't like? And the clients here, because they've been taught to be polite, they'll say thank you. Not for the tea. No, they don't say thank you for the tea. They're saying thank you for the effort to make me tea. But they don't like the tea. Yes, I'm telling you, most carers, support workers, whoever. They don't make tea that is according to the client. No. Can I make you a cup of tea? Say, a cup of tea, yes. How many sugars? 1, no sugar. And they go to the kitchen. Much milk, little milk? Little milk. They said, good. And they think they are making tea that is for the services. No, that's your mother's tea. That's your mother's tea. That's Susan's tea. That's Susan's tea. When you want to make me tea, you have to have an interview with me. A proper interview. And don't be rushing me because I have to believe that you mean it. So you have to know me first. Are we together? Get into my psyche before you make me my cup of tea. And then you ask me, Gwyn, how do you like your tea? How do I make your tea? And then I'll tell you. Oh, thank you. Many people just go and make tea in the kitchen there if I tell them 2 sugars and I tell them a little milk. Do you know what a little milk is? Do you know what a little milk is? And do you know my little milk? Right. So now, a lot of people here, and when we train people, we tell people, don't look after people based on your culture. Don't look after people based on your religion. Don't look after people based on your experiences. Throw that away. Because your experiences, your culture, your religion are not me. So you talk to me, how do I make your tea? And then I'll tell you, thank you. When you go into the kitchen, the top left drawer, you find a green mug, big one, which says, I'm the boss. Take that one. And then I need you to put 2 Tetley tea bags in. And then I would like you to cover it with whole milk that you find in the fridge with a blue top. And I need you to cover the tea bags. And then I need you to take my cup of tea, my cup, while the water is boiling, and put it in the microwave. Because I don't want my cup to make my tea cold. So I warm it up first. Put it in the microwave. And I don't want the milk to make my tea cold. I want it heated up first. So you put it in the microwave for 15 to 20 seconds. And then when you take it out, the water is boiled. Yeah? And you then pour my tea. Let it brew. Let it brew. And don't take out the tea bags. I'll do that later. But make sure you put a teaspoon on the side with a saucer. And in front of you, will see 3 tins. Written sugar, biscuits, tea bags. The Tetley tea from the tea bags. And then the one who says biscuits. Take 2. Take 2 biscuits, yes. And then put them in the saucer. And then bring them to me. Are we together? Now you are making what? My tea. How many are you abusing? Just from what I've just said here. And you have been in care for 10 years. Everyone. How many people? And you think, that's why most people don't even know sometimes when service users, the moment you leave, you think you've done everything well. And they phone the office and say, I don't want this one here. And people are confused. Why don't they want me here? I've done everything. He even said, thank you. He even said, thank you. But it thank you for the effort, not for my tea. And do you know I can't tell you that you are giving me the wrong tea? What do I know of your culture? Or maybe you will kill me if I tell you about how I don't like this tea. Maybe you will choke me. Maybe I'm giving extremes, isn't it? But I'm just saying, how many people are in health and social care and they don't have a clue? And they think they're doing well. Yeah, how is your business? How is thriving? I'm not saying you shouldn't thrive. But I'm just saying, are you doing the right things? And these right things come through training. One time when we were training some people, one of the directors came to us and came to me, I said, Gwyn, please make sure you train them that when they go to service users' houses, they don't use people's microwaves with their food. Pepper pepper soup. Mufushwa. You know mufushwa? Dried, some things of things dried. And when you heat it up, it makes the whole house to smell. But to me, it's yummy. Remember the taste. Remember the feelings. It's yummy, this thing. But it's blocking the whole house. And some of these smells will take 3 days to leave my house. And I'm talking of food alone. And I'm not saying your food is bad. No. It's wonderful to you. Leave me alone. It's wonderful to you. Leave me alone. And then some people have the audacity to open their bowels in service users' houses. The fermented food that we have been eating, the sadza, the pepper, you see what I'm trying to say? And that smell lingers. And this director said to me, one of their carers was followed by a lady with dementia with a spray to the car. And she was not mincing a word. To come here and do this in my house. And she was furious. And these are things that are happening for real. But without training, you do not, what should I say? You do not deal with these things. But when you have open training and people are giving you feedback and you are tailoring the training to people. Now, okay, I'll just quickly go over this so that we know. Is it going? Oh, okay, please do. Just quickly so that, okay. Okay, go on, moving on. So let's move on. Right, okay, so you need to develop core clinical skills, patient safety, caregiving techniques through training. Are we together? Go on, please. Right, cultural competence and diversity awareness. This is key. Right, because what happens is most of us don't realize that we are being immersed in a different culture. And this culture, it may seem like it's simple because we've been speaking English. The English is not the culture. It's the language we were speaking. But the culture is totally what? Different. For example, one person told me in one of the trainings that they said to me, one time I was so furious with another lady. She was a blonde white lady. She came to me and said, "Okie dokie." And he was so angry. And I said, "Why were you angry?" Because she said to me, "Okay, donkey." And he was shaking. He was furious, shaking. Because this lady came to him when he was doing something and said, "Okay, donkey." And then he processed it. Looked back for his tail. "Okay, donkey." But this lady did not understand why this gentleman was so angry. And we take this for granted, don't we? And yet through training, we can even sometimes demystify a lot of things that we take for granted. Yes? Even the issue of making tea. Did you know that we can even have sessions of how to make a sandwich? You don't need a trainer with the CIPD accreditation. Even YouTube. How to make a scrambled egg. How to make this, how to make what? That. You can do it. Right? This cultural competence and diversity awareness is crucial. Right? How many of you have ever noticed that when you go into any English house here in England, but when by the door there is a coat hanger? Have you ever noticed that? Did you know that the coat hanger is not in the bedroom? It's by the door. Why is it by the door? You are not expected to keep your coat on beyond that point. Did you know that it's rude to put your coat inside someone's house? How many of you know that? Yeah? Or is someone saying not really? And how long have you been here, myself? I don't want to embarrass you, but I just want to show you. How long?
Since 2010.
2010. You see, he's been here for 15 years. But he doesn't know that the reason why there are coat hangers by the door is so that you don't go beyond that point with an outdoor court. You live there, you don't go beyond that point with a hut. You leave the hut, you leave the court. The moment you enter with those things inside people's houses, you are saying their house is as good as outside. That's how they understand it here. This is how they understand it here. If they understand it to mean the outside and where you are now, congruent, they are the same. And a white English person will be angry with you without telling you. But you will be saying nice things, but they're already angry. Because, and another thing that it means is, it means that you are saying they are very poor. Did you know that? It means they can't afford heating. Insulting them, you are also defining them according to what you think in terms of money. That's number 2. Number 3, they actually think that it means you don't want to stay because you are ready to go out already. Did you hear me? But these things, guess what? It's through what? Cultural competency and diversity awareness. Are we together? And these are important things. No matter what your job is in this country, you have to learn these things. I always tell people when we are doing training that when you are learning the culture of a people, it's best to watch children's programs. Especially if there's a child in your house, you have an excuse. Well, sit together, let me watch with you. With the little child. Because what happens is they are taught street language. They are taught the meaning of things, the way people are culturally attuned. Are we together? Even in the library, go where the children's books are with your child, isn't it? And say, I'll read for you. And there you're busy learning. No, I'm telling you, you're busy learning. And then in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you begin to understand the people that you support. Are we together? Oh, yes. One time I was working in London. And then when I was working in London, I went, you know, the people who call themselves Cockney. You know them who call themselves Cockney. Yeah, so I would say, tell me, teach me Cockney. What does it mean? What is it about? And then they said, do you know how we define a Cockney? I said, okay, how? It says, anyone was born, it's in the West End, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, it's the West End. And there's what they call the Bow Bell. There's a church called the Bow Bell Church. And when the bell rings there, the boundary that the sound is heard, that defines who a Cockney is. Did you hear me? From that church, the bell, which used to call people to church, whoever hears it, if you are in that area or in that periphery, you are a Cockney. And then Cockney is slang that was used to deceive other people who are outsiders to not to know what's going on in their communities. So in Cockney, they will say, for example, if they want to say my kids, my children, they will say my dustbin lids. Where are the dustbin lids? Who are the dustbin lids? Kids. And it's rhyming slang, but which does not make sense. But it means something. Are we together? If they wanted to say someone was putting on a suit, they'll say whistle and flute. Whistle and flute for cultural competence and diversity. What? Awareness. When I came up north here, one time I was training people up north. And then there was this other lady, local lady. And then she said to me, someone can ask you to make tea. And they call it Ketwi tea. I don't know if you've heard that one. Ketwi tea. It means tea that looks like a cat's wee. Very weak tea. Ketwi. But how many of us have been here for more than a decade? I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying this is it. Are we together? I'm saying take an interest in knowing the local people, the local lingo, and they're willing to tell you and teach you. They're very willing and they love it. If you are willing. That's why I say sometimes, why do you have 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, two eyes, 2 nostrils, 4, 2 ears, 6, and how many mouths? How come we talk more than we see? How much we talk more than we hear? How come we talk more than we breathe in and out? Because when we breathe in and out, it helps us to calm down and to think clearly. Are we together? Right. So now moving on. Thank you. So accredited qualifications and certifications. There are many standard training frameworks and recognized competencies. I was talking to one of the providers. You can raise your hand, my friend. Sorry. Him. Yeah. There. And then another one over there. Say, I was talking to you again. I think you can raise your hand again. Yes, you. Yes. These two. I was talking to them downstairs and we're eating. And then we're talking about, I don't know how we started talking about training. I can't remember. Oh, he said, oh, I remember you were in Bournemouth. You were training. I said, oh, okay. But I let the conversation go natural, isn't it? And like I was not too much interested, but I was really interested in what you were saying. And then he went on to say, you know, I have 6 managers, if I'm not mistaken, who have all undergone level 5 health and social care training. And he also said that I have all my people who have come from abroad, I have given them access to train. And they've also done level what? 5. Some have done level what? 3. Are we together? Let's clap hands for that. Because you need to develop people. And you must be comfortable that when you train them and develop them, they will leave you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They will leave you. But when they go with a good name. And I'm a Christian. The Bible says a good name is better than rubies, than anything else. They go. But with a what? The good name. I remember when we lost our license, I had trained about 12 trainers. Saying that now I'm going to have my trainers, I'm going to have, and I trained them like crazy. And then when we lost, they all went. But every one of them, when they were leaving, they had over 17 certificates that I had personally given them, training them face to face. And we are not joking of 3-hour trainings. So even when they went with a good what? Good name. At least that's what I hope for. So we must invest in our people. We must train them. And we do not do it because only we'll get benefits. So yes, we get benefits, but we do it because it's the right thing to do. Are we okay with that? Okay, how much time? 4 minutes. Okay, thank you. Right, moving on. On the job training and professional development, which is key, let's go out in the field and let's see people develop their competencies. Let's not stay in our offices. I know most of us, when we started these businesses, we worked very hard, isn't it? And there's a time when we feel, I will not go in the field anymore. I'm tired, isn't it? Oh, let's not do that. Let's go still back to the what? To the field and give them the knowledge that they need. And I don't know if some of you have heard this word, tacit knowledge. Have you ever heard of it? Tacit knowledge, yes? So tacit knowledge is knowledge that you don't find in textbooks. A person can read, can do all those things. But tacit knowledge is seen by someone demonstrating something in a certain way. Are we together? So you must always make sure that even as much as they're being trained, you can still provide that tacit what? Knowledge. You can develop and give them that tacit what? Knowledge. There was this other lady who was, let's clap hands for her again. She was talking about menopause. Let's clap hands at the end. Yeah. I caught her unawares, but she was talking about menopause. Right. So I also was reminded, there's what they call SAD. I remember talking to someone, there's that in winter here, there's a condition called SAD. You know it? Can someone tell me what it is? Yes, seasonal affective disorder. Did we know that a lot of people get affected by the length of darkness in winter? To the end that they end up being depressed. Let alone we are waking up very early and going back very what? Late. And already there's this other condition that we are talking about. So we must make the workplace a better place through training, through talking to people, getting feedback, showing that you care. Are we together? Yeah. Have you ever listened to someone whom you think is not listening to you? I mean, is not actually caring about you? Yeah. So our expressions are important. Okay, moving on. Use of technology and e-learning platforms. I think you saw someone saying, scan here. Yeah, that lady was there. Did you see it? I saw that. I said, oh, I'm coming to train here. This lady is just presenting for 2 minutes and already she's captured 50% of people's names. Use of what? Technology. That's why I know. Then went to my website when he was seated there and then posted on a group of HSCPN. I think he saw my post. I was trying to counter that.